Hello, welcome to HR Huddle. Happy holidays. Welcome to December 18th, Monday. We're glad you're with us today. Jen and I were talking, or I was suggesting maybe a topic that we could talk about here as we're wrapping up year end. Everybody's, busy trying to, tie things up, take care of clients, wrap up the business, let alone maybe wrapping presents for any holidays that you're celebrating, or maybe still trying to purchase some of those presents. Our lists are long and can be overwhelming and feel ungrateful at times. So we thought maybe we should pause and first acknowledge we could be in all kinds of different places, and that this is a perfect time to stop and say, how do we find joy in our work? And maybe remind ourselves, remind others, get present to why we do what we do, and what lights us up about it, what makes it worth it, especially during maybe some of these more peak periods, more pressed periods for sure. Trying to have everything outside of work in addition to wrapping up everything that we're doing at work. So we thought we'd spend a few minutes today as we wrap up year end, our last HR huddle for the year, and talk about, what brings us joy, at work. But before we do that, Jen, is there anything else you want to say from a setup or, any perspective on this to add?
Well, Tamera sent me this topic and said, hey, I think this is what we should do today. And I wanted to write back and go, bah, humbug. I don't have any energy to generate joy in the work. I'm just grinding it out. And, that's when I knew the topic was perfect for us today. I was immediately resistant to the idea. Just because of a huge work to-do list and just a lot of stuff that's not quite right. Things that are a little sideways here or there, not just at work, but like things not quite perfectly going like they should. Fraud on a bank account for somebody that I help look after, and things like that are just so irritating. And sometimes a feeling that, people are not cooperating or whatever, and just so easy to get like negative about customer service and, all kinds of stuff that at this time of the year, we're all facing. We're facing lots of transactions, a lot of interactions, tons of emails. Everybody around us is trying to clean their desk off before they take time off here at the end of the year. And one of the ways to clean their desk off is to shovel the stuff over to you, or whatever it is. And so it's super easy to be like grumpy or maybe forgetting really the magnificence of some of the things that have happened in your work life the last 12 months. Yes. So anyway, I thought it was a perfect topic because it's a centering exercise. That's what this is. This is when you're stressed or anxious or grumpy or sad or unmotivated or whatever it is to the negative at work, you can center yourself by picking through a quick inventory of your why, the Tamera said, the purpose, the meaning, but also like what makes me laugh, what makes me smile, what elevates me, making a quick list. And in doing that, you can probably shake off any malaise that's upon you. So I think that's what we were planning to do here. And I'm going to make Tamera go first.
I love it.
To start generating her list of the things that she can make feel joyful about work.
Well, one of them we said right before we came on, and that was each other. Our friendship, our partnership, we do make each other laugh, even when we don't want to laugh. We can find humor in things. We can, find light. And that's huge to have somebody that we can do that with. Also, I know somebody has my back. If you think about the team members that you have, the partners that you have, it's those people that are in it with you and that have your back and that will lift you up. And that is huge and brings joy to the work because we do laugh, we do giggle, we do say it's not, that severe. So that's a place that I would start. And, whether it's a, colleague or a partner or, somebody at work, hopefully everybody has at least one somebody. We're blessed to have an incredible team that we lift each other up, during, different things that are happening. And, our team has, got enough, their own things going on also. And so we're like, how do we support each other? And that makes a huge difference and, helps us, find joy with each other and our relationships. So sometimes we minimize those relationships, or we just get really transactional with each other. But that's why those relationships are so important. So I value that.
Yeah, we have to talk about that too, Tamara. It's, like Gallup measures employee engagement, asking 12 questions. And one of them is, do you have a best friend at work?
Right.
And, having friendships at work is super critical. It's critical to try to make those friendships and invest the time, and then also to appreciate them and acknowledge them and nurture them over time. Because they can, as Tamara said, get really transactional, just like our relationships outside of work.
Yes,
I
like
know
our spouses, our kids.
if you have a spouse or significant other, it can turn super transactional and like the seriously wild business partners, flinging work to do at each other like crazy and forgetting the friendship and the fun and the laughing and all the connections and the places that that you have joy and create joy. So same with our partnerships, same with our relationships with our coworkers, colleagues, and clients.
And clients. Mm-hmm.
Clients, yeah. I mean, that was the only part of what you shared that I was going to add to was this idea of client. All the cool clients that we serve, all the fun friendships. Several clients that I have, if like they just make me laugh, and sometimes we laugh at really hard things to laugh at, but we try to find a way to look at the issues and the challenges and the hurdles as positively, but also as like philosophically, just like not really taking them too seriously, not letting them be as heavy as they might otherwise feel, lightening them, as Tamara said earlier. That's one of the gifts you can give another human being. And they don't really have to be a coworker or a client even. They could just be anybody that you meet that you could create a little levity for. I saw something yesterday, Tamara. It was a reel of some kind. It might have been TikTok or it might have been Instagram, one or the other. But it was a young man, and he couldn't have been 15 years old. And he was saying that his dad had taught him the 5-10 rule. And I had never heard the 5-10 rule before. So I stayed and listened to the kid explain it. And he said, when you get within 10 feet of somebody, you smile at them. And when you get within 5 feet, you say hello. And he said, if you do that, you elevate the morale and culture of the entire team or the entire office or the entire school or the hallway you're in or whatever it is.
Well, the street or the mall you're in or the coffee shop that you're in, or my goodness, if we all did that, I love that.
And he said, here's what happens though. Here's what's weird or whatever. And he goes, when you smile, you feel happier. He said, here I am following my dad's rule because I'm supposed to be trying to make other people feel happier. And every time I smile at them, I feel happy. He said, it's an amazing thing. And he said, it's literally that simple. So that's kind of a cool idea as it relates to how we could lighten the load for other people and create the tiniest little glimmer of hope and possibility in somebody else that their day might get better.
Yes.
Because we never know what's going on with people over there. We just don't. And so anyway, that's another way maybe to find joy in the work is the 5-10 rule or the 10-5 rule. I think it was 5-10 now. So I thought it was great. Yeah, something I've learned from TikTok.
I hear this last week and learn.
Yeah.
Speaking of clients, I think one of the things that brings joy, I know it brings me joy, I'd say it brings us joy, is like when the light bulb goes off. When we see the difference. I was just on a 2-hour roundtable with this group of new partners at a firm that I'm coaching, and we're talking about how to be more advisory and how to, be more solutions oriented. And it's a larger firm, and they provide a lot of services. And one of the gals, they were reporting on their homework, and she said, "Well, I didn't really do my homework, but what I did is my top 5 clients, I am doing fixed pricing. I included advisory coaching with it, and we're billing ahead." And I about fell off my chair. And I was like, "What do you mean you didn't do your homework?"
But you did every piece of homework we have in the whole program.
Exactly. And the partners in the business development, the chief growth officer was on it. It was just floored. And I'm like, "Okay, so here's my question. How do we do that with the rest of the tax department?" I mean, it was just amazing. And she goes, I talked to 5, all 5 did it. No resistance, nothing. And she was lit up. She's like, "This is going to make our life so much better." And she goes, "And now I'm going to teach my managers. They're going to do it with their clients, and they're going to each do it with 5 clients." And I was just like, "You just made my day. You just made my week," that they're just taking these ideas, trusting us, applying it, and it's going to make their lives better. It's going to make their business better. It's going to elevate everybody, within that firm, in that group for sure. So it's that kind of work. And that's just one example. We could list a ton of examples, but the difference that we get to make, and we don't always know what that is. So having it reported back to us is huge, because sometimes we don't know. And so, we might wonder, but, we know we're making a difference, and that brings incredible joy. So
I love that. So I'm going to share another one today. Samantha on our team and I taught a session to about 100 future leaders, managers, senior managers, young new partners. 100 of them got together, and we talked about trends in clients, trends in technology, and trends in talent. We spent 2 hours together, and I challenged them at the beginning. I said, "Listen, I want the chat of this session to be like a slot machine or a news feed. And I want it to be so busy that I can't keep up with reading it while we're on it, with you all sharing what you're experiencing, what you see, what you know, because you're out there, man. You're in these firms." And they complied. It was wonderful. That is going to be such a robust chat file for them all to share, because we always give them the output of the public chat. And so that was wonderful. They were really embracing the ideas, and they were questioning and pushing back. And there's nothing better than that kind of discourse where you're all talking about possibilities together. And some people are already there on some of them, and they can testify and they can help shorten the cycle for others. And I find that amazingly energizing. I love change. I love to capitalize on the evolution and to transform business models and to run things smarter and better. I love that. And I love people willing to engage in conversation around it, even if we don't really know the answers yet, even if we're not really certain exactly what form it will take, to brainstorm around it, to talk about it, to explore it, not be afraid of it. That's something I love. And because of that, I'm just going to say one of the joys that I'm experiencing right now is the joy of teaching the people in my life generative AI by teaching them Chat GPT. And by my life, I mean kids,
daughters, kids, yes.
SIBs, my colleagues at work, clients, anybody that I can share what I've learned lately. I am not an expert by any stretch, but I've been playing with it maybe a little longer than some people have in my circle. And I love sharing what I've learned so far, but also just what is possible with that technology. Yes, there are scary things about it. Yes, there are protections we have to put in place. No questions asked.
Right.
So I don't think I'm blindly enthusiastic, but I am pretty much amazed by it. It could be a much bigger invention than high-speed internet or the internet was in changing the game for business. I know we could talk about computerization and stuff like that, but this is pretty astounding. So anyway, I find joy in that, and I'm glad that there's some really meaningful opportunities for change that we can dig into together.
Yeah. Yeah. And what I heard you say, Jen, is the learning side of it, like learning new things, but also the innovation and the technology and like all of that that makes us possible, and not being afraid of it, and helping others not to be afraid of it. It's okay to learn. We don't have to have it all figured out. And that's huge. It's a gift, that we're able to bring. As you were talking about that, I was listening, from all the accomplishments we made this past year. And I think we forget because we have this very long list. I know we do anyway. We have a very long list of all the things that are not done that we wanted to do, that we hope to do, but we don't stop and go, what's all the stuff we did do? And what difference did it make? And, it's pretty amazing. It's pretty incredible.
Yes.
And, it could be mundane things. It could be big things. It could be, things that our team loves or that our clients, are really embracing. So like the list is long. So we should probably make that list. But also you could make that list within your group, within your team, within your firm, like stop and acknowledge just this past year. What are all the things that we have accomplished? And, find joy in that, relish, take time. We don't take enough time to relish in that and celebrate those kinds of things.
Yes, Tamara, like we launched our fall TLP program and
third one ever. Yes.
Yeah, the first third public program we've ever done. And we were scared of it, super scared in March. We all like joined hands,
linked hands and jumped,
prayed and agreed at the same time, that we would do this. And we're deep into it, deep into the launch, not into the program year yet, but that thing is happening. We implemented Monday.com. It's not fully thoroughly implemented. We have so much more we could do with that system, but we have gotten that thing going for project management and just scheduling and a whole bunch of other things. Really turning into something cool for us, and have been learning the technology of integrating it to our other platforms, which has been great too. Whole bunch of stuff. Those are kind of little big things, and they're behind the scenes things, kind of, that people might not ever know about us, but we get a little bit of proactivity in there now and then, besides the awesome work we do wearing our roller skates and jet packs on our back to keep up with our clients and serve the work that's out there. But you're right, Tamara. And we usually make that list in March or something when we're doing strategic planning. That's when we'll make our accomplishments list. But as you stand here right this minute, we're getting ready to put our
business. We could use it right now.
Yeah, well, that's the centering exercise. That's what we're doing, and we're leading other people in doing it too. And we hope that you're hearing this from like you doing the same conversation we're having and applying your insights to it, because just thinking about doing this conversation with Tamara and coming from kind of an overwhelmed, dug in spot that I was in earlier today, I'm definitely better for doing it. I can see, I can see light and recognize that sometimes, you got to grind, but there is a way around that a little bit. You could bring back some of the fun.
Yes. Sure. Well, and I think that's the other thing that brings joy is we have to be intentional about having fun with each other. And spouses too, by the way, or significant others, because we get transactional. I went on a date with my husband to the Mall of America this past weekend, and we don't really enjoy the mall shopping.
I was going to say that was fun. What?
We enjoyed the people watching and got some things accomplished, but then we went and had a magnificent dinner at one of our favorite restaurants. So that was the fun part, and it was just the two of us. But how do we have fun with our team? Have lunch, have, coffee, I know there's different holiday parties or maybe potlucks or chili cook-offs coming up. How do we just have fun, celebrate, socialize, try not to talk about work, those kinds of things. We're going to have our holiday party on Friday. We do it, remotely, and, we'll do some games. We'll do some updates. What are we going to do over the holidays? We'll laugh. It'll be good for us just to really connect and share with each other and, find those opportunities. So It feels like maybe we shouldn't have to be so intentional about it, but it's okay to be intentional about it. It's okay to make sure it's scheduled, on your calendars. Make sure we're having times to connect, times to have fun, times to laugh or be silly or whatever it might be. So, I think that brings us joy also. And it brings back the relationship side of it. So back where I started, it's a full circle. It reminds us, oh yeah, I actually enjoy working with these people. I like these people, and I'm committed to them, and so I'm bonded with them. I want well for them. I pray for their kids and families and illnesses or whatever is happening, and so it's huge.
Yes. And Tamara, one last idea to center on the joy in the work is to just really give incredible gratitude and be appreciative for the blessings that you have been given from a gifts and talents and experience perspective, and how unique your secret sauce or special pixie dust is on the team or within the team that you serve, and just what a special set of gifts every person brings, and how they speak up at the right time or share their expertise or pick up and shoulder a part of the load with their unique gifts, that are just so amazing. And each of us has those. And to try to get appreciative and an inventory and acknowledge the ones you have, it can help you feel better about the work, less like I have to do this work and more like I am called to this work.
Right.
I am supposed to be here contributing because I am bringing something unique and special. And I've been brought to this place by the universe for a reason, and I'm here to deliver it. And sometimes that can help it feel a little bit less burden and obligation-y.
Yes, love that. Awesome. Well, we hope you have a joyous holiday season and a wonderful and safe new year. We hope you find some time to connect and re-energize and do things that bring you joy, over the next couple weeks. And we will look forward to seeing you in 2024. So it's been a wonderful year with you. Thank you for following us, and we'll see you in 2024.
Happy holidays and happy new year.